All right, everybody, welcome back. Ready to dive into some more language learning goodness.
Always ready for that.
Today, we're all about nailing us as basic English conversations. You know, the kind of things you need for travel or just meet new people.
Or even just for like feeling more confident. Like even if
Exactly. Confidence is key, right?
Huge.
And we found this podcast. It's specifically for people learning English.
Cool.
But honestly,
Yeah.
there's some really great reminders in there for anyone, even if you've been speaking English your whole life.
I think that's true for a lot of things. Like when you get to a certain level with anything, the fundamentals kind of fall away.
Yeah, they do.
But they're so important, you know?
They really are. And this podcast we're looking at, they cover these 3 super common situations you always find yourself in.
Okay.
Introductions.
Yeah.
Ordering at a cafe.
Oh, yeah. That one gets me.
Oh, me too. I always get nervous. And asking for directions.
Ah, class. Yeah.
It's classic. But they break it down so well. They give you the phrase you need,
Yeah.
and then they have all these tips for actually like making it work.
So it's not just about like memorizing the words. It's
Exactly.
the delivery.
Exactly. It's the whole package, like how you say it.
I think that's so fascinating how no matter what language you speak, it's the same, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you think about someone introducing themselves, it's the same everywhere. It's like you want to speak clearly and you want to...
Smile.
Yes, a genuine smile.
That's so true.
And eye contact, that's like...
Eye contact can be tough.
It can be tough, but it makes such a difference.
It really does.
If you're looking at the person and, you know, smiling and speaking clearly, it's like universal signs of like, hey, I'm a friendly person.
Exactly. It's instant rapport building.
Yes.
So this podcast, they jump right into introductions first.
Okay.
And they give you this like little script to follow.
Okay.
It's super simple, but it's effective.
Yeah.
You start with, hi, I'm your name. Nice to meet you. Then you follow it up with, what's your name?
Mm.
And then to keep the conversation going, where are you from?
Oh, that's nice. It's so simple.
It is.
But like you said, having those things in mind beforehand
Takes pressure off.
takes the pressure off totally.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not just like standing there like, oh gosh, what do I say?
Exactly. You got your little cheat sheet right there in your brain.
Exactly.
But like you were saying earlier, it's not just the words, it's how you say them.
Yeah, and they make a really good point about that in this podcast.
Okay, what do they say?
They talk about pronunciation being really important.
Okay.
Like making sure you're speaking clearly, not rushing your words, and smiling while you talk.
Oh, that's such a good point. Smiling while you talk.
Have you ever noticed like when you're concentrating and you're like frowning?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
It changes your voice.
It totally does. It makes you sound so much more
It's serious.
serious and almost like
Grumpy.
grumpy. Yes. Try it right now. Say hello with a frown. Now say it with a big smile. Hello.
Hello.
Do you hear the difference?
Huge difference.
It's amazing.
I feel like it's like a little nonverbal cue you're giving the other person.
It's true. Okay, so we've tackled introductions.
Yes, we've made some friends.
We've made some friends. Now let's move on to something a little more high pressure.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Ordering at a cafe.
Oh,
Let's put you on the spot here.
okay.
Pretend I'm at your cafe counter.
All right.
I'm feeling brave. I'm going to order a cappuccino.
Okay, a cappuccino coming right up. What would you like to say?
I would say, hi, can I get a cappuccino, please?
Perfect. You see how you used could instead of can?
Oh, yeah.
It just adds that little extra touch of politeness.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good tip.
Yeah, it's a subtle difference, but
Well.
it can make a big impact. And then what if I ask you, what size would you like?
I would say medium, please.
Excellent. Anything else for you?
No, thank you. That's all.
Perfect. See, you aced it.
That wasn't so bad.
Mm.
But you know what I find interesting about that whole exchange?
What's that?
It's not just about the words themselves. There's so much like cultural stuff wrapped up in there too.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like even the way we use please and thank you.
Yeah, and that little check at the end, anything else. It's like you're making sure you've covered all the bases.
Yeah, it shows that you're being considerate of their time.
Exactly.
I mean, you're not going to like hold up the line
Exactly.
because you forgot to order that muffin you really wanted.
Exactly. You're being a good customer. All right, so we've made friends. We've gotten our caffeine fix.
We're ready to take on the world.
We are. But now we need to figure out how to get where we're going.
Oh, God.
Asking for directions. This one can be tricky even in your own language.
I know. Sometimes I'm like looking at my phone
Me too.
and I still can't figure out which
Yep.
way to go.
It's the worst. So this podcast has some good phrases for this too.
Okay, what are they?
So you start with, excuse me, could you help me?
Okay.
Very polite.
Oh.
And then you can say, how do I get this place?
Oh, that's good. Simple and to the point.
Exactly.
That's it.
But what if you didn't catch everything they said?
Oh, that happens to me all the time.
Me too. can be so awkward to be like,
Oh, sorry, what?
yeah. So they recommend having this phrase ready to go. Could you repeat that, please?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's so much better.
It is.
And it shows you're really trying to understand.
It's like you're an active participant in the conversation.
Exactly. You're not just passively waiting for them to tell you everything.
You're engaged.
Exactly. So we've covered the main scenarios, but now let's get into some of their pro tips for just like generally feeling more confident when you're speaking English.
I like this part.
Me too.
Mm.
They have some of the usual suspects like practice every day,
Yeah.
watch English movies.
Gotta have that.
But then they had a few that really stood out to me.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
This one was a little bit funny, but I actually think it's really helpful.
Okay.
Talk to yourself in the mirror.
Oh. I used to do that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, maybe not like full-on conversations.
Well, yeah, not like...
They're not like practice phrases or like
Yeah.
lines from a movie or something.
Exactly. Because it helps you get used to...
Hearing your own voice.
Yes. And like making the sounds.
And it also helps you with like intonation. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Yeah.
Like the rise and fall of your voice.
Yeah. It's all part of it.
It really is. Okay, what was another one that stood out to you?
I really liked the one about watching English movies.
Yeah, that's a classic.
But they took it a step further.
How so?
They suggested watching movies or shows that are known for having really clear dialogue.
Oh, that's interesting. Like what?
Like legal dramas.
Oh, yeah.
Or historical pieces, sometimes even animated movies, because they tend to enunciate very clearly.
That's such a good point. I never thought about that.
Because it's true, if you can hear the words clearly, it's so much easier to understand.
Absolutely. What else?
They also really stress the importance of not being afraid to make mistakes.
Oh, that's huge.
Because you're going to make mistakes. It's part of the process.
It is. I make mistakes all the time.
Everyone does. And it's like the best way to learn.
And I love that they framed it that way.
It takes the pressure off.
It does.
Like, it's not about being perfect. It's about
progress.
Exactly.
I also like that they mentioned language learning apps.
Yeah. Those can be really helpful.
As a supplement.
Yeah, exactly.
Like for vocab and grammar practice.
Yeah, they're good for that.
But what they really highlighted was active listening.
Oh, that's so important.
And you know, it's funny. It ties back to that pronunciation tip we were talking about earlier.
How so?
Because when you're actively listening to how native speakers are talking, you naturally start
picking up on things.
Like you start to notice the nuances of how they're saying things.
The rhythm. The intonation.
It's like osmosis almost.
Yeah, exactly.
So what does all this mean for you, dear listener?
Well, it means that fluency is a journey, not a destination. And every conversation is a step in the right direction.
Love that.
Yeah.
Every conversation is a step.
So think about, what conversation scenario makes you feel the most nervous?
Oh, good question.
And why does it make you nervous? And how can you use some of these tips to practice and maybe get more comfortable with it?
That's such good advice. And remember,
you're not alone.
You're not alone. Everyone goes through this.
Everyone feels awkward sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So just keep practicing, keep learning, and keep those conversations flowing.
That's what it's all about.
That's it for today. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.